What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network. We are the LittleBigKast. On today's show, KT, Glenn, and other friends join us at the Pearl Milk Tea Club to celebrate the 50th episode of the LittleBigKast. That's a lot of episodes. 50.
Jam-packed.
That's almost double me.
Wow.
As an individual.
Wow.
All this and more, ladies and gentlemen, on today's episode of the LittleBigKast. Welcome. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the LittleBigKast. My name is Jeff Hawks.
Hey, Jeff Hawks.
Hey,
we
Jeff.
are
The LittleBigKast.
LittleBigKast.
So first of all, this is episode 50.
Holy
and we're
macaroni.
Wow.
super pumped. We're going to be we are actually in reality recording live from somewhere
One of my
remote.
favorite places.
What's it called?
It's a
Let's see if
very
you can
cool
remember.
place. It is the Pearl Milk Tea Club.
Yes,
That's right.
That is what
Located
it's called.
in downtown Ogden, Utah, on the corner of Wall Avenue and 25th Street. So if you're ever in the area, make sure to stop by. These guys are awesome. If you like Pearl Milk Tea, if you like
The
Boba
Boba
Drink.
This is like one of
Yeah.
two places you
It's,
get boba in
it's
northern
one of my
Utah.
The fact
favorites
that you
too.
can have boba, and then I just want to add Fett to that. Just
But-
I'm Boba Fett.
Do you have a drink called Boba Fett?
They
They
should.
need to.
They should have a little bit
Yeah.
of
We'll
a
make
fat
a
Is
flavor.
it just me, or is that not Boba Fett?
we'll make a
Boba Fett?
recommendation.
Yeah, you can do that. That's a
Uh,
delicious thing.
Yeah, definitely. So we're recording live from the Pearl Milk Tea Club, hashtag PMTC.
Yep.
And with me today, we have not only the full LittleBigKast traditional crew
Yes.
of Mr. Drew Tyler,
I'm here. Thank you.
the ever wonderful Robin Hazlett. Drew didn't
Hey.
get anything today.
That's fine,
And
that's fine.
the radical Rachel Hernandez.
Lovely.
But we're also joined in studio in remote location
yeah, we're
by Glenn, Mr. Glenn.
He'll be on later
Glenn.
today. We'll talk a little bit
The
about
Glenn.
He'll be on
Yeah.
later, and then KT's with us as well, and he's mic'd up and ready to go.
Person.
Just pretend I'm not here.
We missed
We
you.
always
we will
do.
not
Never.
pretend you're not here. You will be a part of every conversation. You don't have a choice.
But we also have friends and family surrounded by
Yeah, we
us.
got
so-
some friends. We got some people here. We got some, some peeps that are going to be hopefully making some kind of call-in conversation thing happening.
we'll
I don't-
see.
We'll see what happens. This is going to be a work in progress. We're excited to be here, though. We're excited to be doing this. So, as always, every week we kind of break down what we've been doing in the gaming and entertainment world. And does anyone want to start first? KT, you're starting first, actually.
Yep, because we don't
What
have
do
He's
you
the
been
Doculum
doing?
Kinuno.
So yeah,
He's
since
the
I don't
leader
even
of
have
the clan.
a camera on me, they're just
Yeah.
they're
It's
just
okay,
watching
it
you
doesn't
guys.
matter.
Best
Yes,
in body
God?
weight.
It's
So,
watching
ga-
us watching you.
Yeah, gaming wise, of course, I've been on Destiny, and if you guys haven't noticed,
Oh,
I have
dude.
been trying to get my Grimoire score up to the max for no apparent reason. Has no impact on
Yeah,
the
I was
game
gonna say,
other
what-
than
Has
What
nothing
good
to
bragging
do with
rights.
anything other than bragging rights.
Yeah.
And KT is the kind of guy that just brags.
It's like I just
constantly.
got to do it
It's the
It's
completionist.
a great way to do it.
on there.
Struggle.
The completionist is news.
So yeah, I've been doing that, and like I actually started playing Game of Thrones on my phone.
No.
The
Yeah.
Telltale
Wow.
games.
Yeah, the Telltale
Right
version.
on. What do you
there,
think so
and
far?
It's exciting. So like literally when I go to bed, I'm humming the theme song in the back of my head.
Cool.
On there, and
Right on.
yeah, I love it. The only drawback is my phone gets ridiculously hot, and then I look at the time like, oh crap, I've been playing this for an hour.
It's
That is
now 4
why
o'clock in the morning.
on there.
It happens.
So
It
yeah,
happens
that's
with all of
pretty
us.
much all I've been doing, other than
Very
the
cool.
normal shows with your one host over there.
Yeah, we do
That
we do
one
shows
guy.
every other Tuesday. He and I
The
get together for a couple
Kickcast.
hours, just chill.
Just
It's
chill.
chill.
What's it called?
Talk
The-
about random-ish.
The Kickcast.
The casting of the kick.
The casting of that we did the show last week. We did a show with a fabric barbecuer, portable fabric barbecuer. This is
What
kind
does
of
that
stuff
even
that
mean?
It's portable. It's you can barbecue in it with charcoal and everything,
Tell me more.
but it's a silicone type of fabric,
Yeah.
so it's totally folded up and it's flexible. It's
That's some good
Right?
crossover, KT. So you bring KT to the show.
So
you
we
backed
talk
that
about
up,
the-
right?
you should have
That's
picked up the
all
show.
I
You should have
got.
checked out the
You backed
Kickcast.
that up.
We
We,
totally backed
now
everything.
we know which host watches the other hosts' shows.
I'm
That's
sorry that I
right.
missed last week's episode, guys. I'm terribly sorry. Anyway, moving on. Let's jump to one of the better-looking individuals
Yeah.
here today. Let's go with Rachel.
Oh wait, I thought it was
Hey.
me.
We'll start with Rachel. Then we'll move.
Drew,
we'll
this
move
isn't
to
the
Drew,
Kickcast.
Then we'll go Robin, and then we'll end with me.
So, it's been the last 2 weeks of school. I
Okay.
guess
Yes.
Okay.
there's
I
one
feel
week
it.
left.
Wrapping
So
up.
you guys will be struggling because after you get all the grading.
Yes.
But until then, I'm the one who's doing the stuff for you to grade. So I've been fairly busy with my education and
have
trying.
you learned
to
anything in the last couple
find
weeks?
a job.
That's the question. Have you learned anything?
Never trust anyone.
There-
Trust no one.
Group work
Trust
sucks.
no. Seriously,
That's
out
a
of
good lesson learned.
Yes.
right out of my 6 classes,
Learning
only
life
one of
lessons.
them doesn't have a group.
Wow. So you are
So-
relying on a lot of people.
So my Facebook Messenger is just like this class.
wow.
'cause it's just,
Dude,
it's been
seriously
great.
though, how great is Facebook Messenger for
It's
communicating
pretty
with
convenient.
classmates? Because not only are you able to do that really easily, but you can mute it.
Right?
Where you can't
Yes.
mute
You just
text
don't.
messages.
That's
At
true.
least on my phone, you can't.
That's true.
So,
yeah, that's what I've just the schoolwork. I picked up Beelines a couple of times, and I've been meaning to start Portal 2 with
Oh, that's a good
Yes.
with my friend Leon. So
With Laffy Taffy.
yeah,
dude,
with
I'm
Laffy
working with a
Taffy.
guy named Leon right now at work.
one. What?
He has a real name. His real name is actually Andrew.
Okay, Leon's a
But
good nickname.
I like
Why do we
Leon.
call Laffy Taffy and Leon if his name's Andrew? That's
Because he goes by
Because
his
we
last
already
name.
have an
By his last
Andrew
name.
here.
Because
Yeah,
we
we already
didn't
have
we
an
didn't
Andrew.
know his
If
name.
we were referring to him as Andrew, we'd all be confused.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll
Because we
give you
already
that.
got an Andrew.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
That's a good
true.
point.
It's weird. I
Good
forget that his name's Andrew sometimes. Cause
Is
I'm
it
like,
weird? Is it weird for anyone else when you're looking for Drew on Facebook and you type Drew and nothing comes up? Yeah. And you got to
I
put
think
Andrew.
sometimes-
Andrew.
So,
Yes.
sorry.
Confusing.
Sorry. I
get
was
it
not
together.
aware that that was a big
What
deal.
does it say about me when every time I search for it, it comes up because I search for his name that often?
Yeah.
Stalking him.
You know.
It's in,
You
it's
know
in the
what I meant.
recents. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Like I said, a little bit of Beelines, and I've been wanting to pick up Pokemon. I haven't picked it up because I lost my Game Boy charger. I've lost everything in my life. I lost my SD cards. I lost my Game Boy charger. I think I lost some socks, so I don't.
Some socks.
This-
That's
this
normal.
This might be a
though.
sign of like the last 2 weeks of
I
school.
know.
Yeah.
So my life is a mess right now,
Yeah, wow.
and I need to find my. But I've been wanting to pick up a Pokemon. I think Sapphire.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
That'll be good.
But cool.
So yeah. That's me.
Drew.
Who's next?
All right, I'll take.
Let's
I'll
kick
take
it
a
over
ride.
to Drew.
I'll take a ride. So my week has basically been. This has been a really like crazy wild week because we had the Comfest, which was all day Thursday, and that was like somebody's dream somewhere. I love the faculty. Did I say that? I have to
Yeah,
put that out there. I
Does
love
every department out there do a department
fest?
fest?
Not usually.
No.
Not usually.
Okay.
Like sometimes
No.
it's
Because
College
college
I,
fest.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't remember seeing like a
No.
sales fest or a
Business.
marketing fest.
But that's mainly because I know what the general gist of it, and it was like people don't understand what you can do with a
That's
communication
true.
major. Like you say, oh, you're a comm major, you want to go into broadcast. It's like no, I
There's
have
a lot of stuff.
No.
Like there's like the interpersonal, all the other things.
I
But
think
yeah,
that's probably. I think that's probably it is. We're so varied, right? We go from like
Yeah.
the personal comm, like the one-on-one comm, the broad mass media with the TV, the radio station, the newspaper, and then all
And
of
then
the
the PR, the
YouTubing,
advertising,
So we're very
Civic
varied.
advocacy event.
So
Yeah.
they had this idea to do a Comfest, and the best part was that, and this is good,
There was
but they had to
popcorn.
let students kind of organize and create it as an event. And that was the fun part, is letting like student leaders talk
Okay.
to other students and put the whole thing together, and it got crazy. Like it
Yeah.
was like the day before, then the advisors got
okay.
together and were like, okay, do they really have all of this covered? Do we really, like, are they gonna make it? Anyway, they pulled it off, but it was okay. It went well. But that was on top of that, we ran a film festival for high school students, and so we had all of that running up to make sure that all of that was taken care of before the film fest hit. And so it was quite a week. Gaming wise, I'm not sure I hit I don't know. I think Bloodborne. We talked a little bit about Bloodborne,
right.
which is a difficult, hard game. But I found that the hardest thing,
predicted.
like I killed 6 guys. That was my big achievement. I got 6 of them dead before they got me. But the hardest thing in that game is waiting for it to like start over. Most games there's a little bit of like a roll up time before you go again, and this is seriously like a minute and a half to 2 minutes where you're just sitting there waiting, and all it has is Bloodborne on the screen. No hints. Like next time, don't
So
get
there
killed.
were some
Just
next time
logo.
stop sucking.
So this isn't
Yeah,
in
that's
the
all I
news,
get.
but
Yeah.
maybe now it is newsworthy. So we'll just bring it up.
What?
They're From Software is planning to actually release an update that is supposed to be shortening those load times.
Oh, geez, that'd be great.
I didn't include
Aw.
it in the news because I forgot, frankly, that you were playing it.
But
'Cause,
still,
like,
that's a huge thing. It's a
I'm
huge
not
thing.
hardcore enough to do well at this game, so I've never touched it.
I enjoy it, and I enjoy the challenge. I have not yet rage quit. I did quit.
You raged quit on the little MC Escher game and Bloodborne.
Right.
You're like, yeah, it's okay, we can work with
I'll
this.
make it.
Screw you, puzzles.
Yeah, but it was because that one had
Nerd joke.
Beethoven playing in the background the whole time, and it just didn't.
I'm not
It
relaxed.
just made me mad. No, that's it. That's about all I've played. The kids and I have been playing Knack. We've been playing all the way through Knack, and so that's been kind of fun because they can both the 8-year-old and the soon to be 6-year-old can actually maneuver. Like it used to
Right.
be when I used to play games with them, like Nino. It was like let him walk around in a circle for like 20 minutes, and then be like, okay, now let's go do something.
Did you see the rumor that Nino Kuni 2
No, I
is
did
in
not.
the works?
No, I did not see
So
that.
it's a rumor. It's
Bean, did you hear that?
From what I'm seeing on Reddit, it looks like it's a long shot rumor.
Oh, okay.
Or it's coming from someone who has a history of like bad rumors and bad leaks.
Oh, so it's maybe not happening.
I want it bad enough.
You can dream.
I think
I
a
can
lot
dream.
of
But I'm
people
just
want it
gonna hope
badly.
for it.
If we start the rumors, then I guess that they've got to follow through.
They
because
have
everyone's
to.
gonna be
They'll
super
have to
disappointed if you don't do
right?
it.
Right, absolutely.
Pressure.
But it's been fun to play with the kids. I love playing with the kids with games. It's a good way to bribe them and get things done, and it works well. So I've
Absolutely.
enjoyed that.
Parenting by Drew.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's how you
and
do
Robin
it.
and Robin confirms.
Oh yeah, no,
Absolutely.
Rob, what are you up to? What's
Yeah,
your week?
Rob.
Oh, okay, so mine was crazy. While we didn't do the filming on Wednesday, I was in Vegas at a conference.
Oh, that's right. You had a
So,
wild week.
I had a wild week, and not
Tell us
in
about it.
like the wild that you think. It's like, oh yeah, it's
Oh, I
Vegas.
heard karaoke,
Woo!
yeah.
No, there was an incident with a karaoke machine. So yes, that happened.
What does that mean?
There was an incident with the karaoke machine. I decided that I could sing,
Oh.
and so Metallica's "Whiskey in the Jar" got a really bad rendition. It's like, this will be fun. Nobody here is gonna know me anyway, so why bother?
That's cool.
So yeah.
That doesn't sound like that doesn't sound like something went wrong.
Oh no, but
Something happened.
yes, there was
Okay.
an incident. But aside from that, I went there for the Broadcaster Educators Association conference, talking
Okay.
about parasocial interaction, like do you feel connected to a character and all that fun
Good
stuff.
old parasocial
Oh,
relationships.
parasocial relationships. You're not.
All the ones I
You're
have.
lonely, aren't you? It's like all the research is saying like this is kind of a
We're
social
normal.
deviance.
We're normal.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is I remember going through the class, and Bialos was the professor when I took the class, and she's great. And
Fantastic.
We're talking about parasocial relationships, and somebody in the class was like, yeah, honestly, and I'm not going to say his name, he's more of an awkward dude, but he's like, honestly, I have an easier time connecting with characters in a video game than I do with people in real life for whatever reason. Like, it just
Because it's
doesn't click
safe.
with me. And a couple people kind of snickered, and Anne was like, the teacher was like, do you not understand that like you watching American Idol and voting for 4 hours the night of the finale, you have this relationship built with an
Yeah.
equally fictitious character that they
Exactly.
have put
It
on
is
stage.
manufactured. It's massaged.
Right, absolutely. So that's yeah. Anyway,
So yeah, that's why I was in Vegas.
cool.
But when I was there, I went to the NAB show.
nice.
I'm jelly.
So, yes, you should be jelly because they had like camera arms swinging all around.
Oh, yeah.
They had, I think
Dang.
the
You had the
coolest-
Oculus on too, right?
I
Didn't
had the
see
Oculus.
a picture? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to see a picture? Because I'll pull it up.
Yeah,
I
go
saw.
for
I
it.
saw. Yeah.
Yeah,
pull it up.
well, they had Samsung's doing a version of the Oculus that's much cheaper. It's only about $1,000 for the whole setup.
Really?
And so I tried them both out. I'm like, there's a helicopter above me, and there's horses running next to me.
Was
and
it the most recent iteration of
Yeah.
the Oculus? Very
yeah,
cool.
and so what was really fun is they had like the pedestal there, like they have everything setting on it, and so I had my hands on it, and like, oh yeah, I'm on a boat, that's great, and there's my flippy floppies, and then I take my hands off the pedestal, and I'm looking around like, oh, I'm gonna die, like the whole like not having anything grounded to me, it's just like
It's a reality,
this is super
yeah.
trippy. So, yeah,
Nice.
so
Wanna
check that?
so there's that.
That was pretty cool.
That was the take your hands off the pedestal. And like I don't know what's happening.
That's cool.
But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I put Hearthstone on my Android phone. And by the way, I have the brand new HTC M9 with
how
the super
pretty.
sexy awesomeness.
Oh, dang.
Whoa.
Yes.
Take care of
So
it.
brand new. Yeah, I put Hearthstone on there, and there goes my productivity level. Just
Perfect. As it should.
yeah.
I mean, the reality is right now you're in a waiting. You're waiting for
I wish I was
all of
waiting.
the papers to come
I
dropping.
think there's still lots to
Yeah,
do.
I'm
There's
waiting.
plenty
yeah,
to
I
do,
can't
haven't
wait.
but
I
I
just
dated
wait
since
till
spring
I'm going.
break, so I have some stuff to do.
Yeah.
All right, well,
We
so
got things.
For me, obviously, Destiny is the game of choice for the week.
Wait, you what?
Surprise.
We were
Hold on,
talking
what?
about this too last night.
Yeah.
Too. We were like, why are you coming back to Destiny? I thought you were gonna
I-
go play
Dude,
other things.
if I
Thought you
had
were moving
4
on.
people that were like, "Hey, let's play Helldivers," I would play Helldivers. But like, Helldivers is not
Borderlands?
fun by yourself. You have to have a full fire team to play Helldivers, and I still call it a fire team. That's a Destiny thing. But
That's really
Cute.
funny.
played a little bit of Borderlands. I still love Borderlands. Like if I'm by myself, I'll play Borderlands. I don't like playing Destiny anymore by myself. So actually, Glenn and I played Borderlands for a little while a couple days ago. But
I'm
other
hurt.
than
I'm
that,
totally butthurt.
other than that,
I didn't get to play at all with anybody at all this week.
Drew's friend.
Because I played Knack with my kids. Is that why it is?
As far as entertainment stuff goes, The Last Man on Earth is still freaking hilarious. Like, if you haven't watched it, you've got to watch this freaking show. It's
You
so
have
funny.
time.
And the way that Will Forte talks, especially, there's this character in the show called Todd. His name's Todd. And the way that he refers to Todd just kills me every time. He's like, freaking Todd, freaking Todd. Every time he talks to Todd, he's annoyed. Even though Todd's like the nicest guy in the world, he's like, freaking Todd. It's fantastic. I've also been watching Daredevil. I think I'm at episode 10 of Daredevil on
Heard
Netflix.
lots
And
of
if you
things about
haven't watched it,
Daredevil.
I've heard very good things about it.
Oh my gosh.
And not like the Ben Affleck.
dude, it is
Right.
It's just-
it is hardcore. So first of all, it's got all of the actors in it are actually really, really good. They're very good actors, and they fit
They're
the
not Ben
roles.
Affleck.
They're not Ben Affleck. They fit the roles that they're in. And the main guy that plays
Quack, quack.
the main guy that plays Daredevil, he's a guy that is in one of my very favorite movies called Stardust. It's a fantastic movie. He plays
yep.
Tristan Thorne in Stardust. And so when you have an actor that you have this history with and you've built this rapport with, parasocial relationships, am I right?
Yeah.
But it was easy to
All
like
the
him as a
commentary.
character. It was a very easy process of getting in and really enjoying this character. But it is brutal, man. Like there have been scenes in this television show that like my wife and I both, as we're watching, like kind of recoil and we're like, holy crap, how is this a Marvel? Like Marvel typically is not the dark, brooding kind of comic book movie. Like that's typically we think of DC, right? Like
Darker
the Tim Burton
Batman.
Batmans,
Yep.
the Chris Nolan Batmans. Like those are the darker films. Daredevil is freaking dark. Like it's dark. There's a scene, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, but there's a scene where a dude headbutts a spike on a pole so that somebody else doesn't get him. He's like just slams it through his eyeball and kills himself so that somebody else doesn't find him. And it shows it. Like it straight up shows it. It's very, very gnarly. It's violent, but it's good. Very cool. Anyway, outside of that, I'm getting super excited. They've started dropping trailers now for The Witcher, The Wild Hunt.
Yes.
And I am super excited for that. They also dropped the new Star Wars trailer.
Yes.
What, yesterday?
Yes.
Friday?
Yes.
Um,
I had to yell at my students multiple times because every time I came down the hall, they had it cranked up as loud as they could, and I've already been reprimanded by the library this week for rowdy
Who would
kids.
do that?
Like chair races in the hall. Somebody ran down the hall yelling, "1 more week,
Who
bitches!"
would do that?
It's a good thing
Yeah,
that
I don't know
we
who
are,
would do that, but I can't believe that it
So I
came
was
down.
excited.
It came
The
down
one
to
time.
But yeah, I had to tell them to turn it down every time. They were so excited that they were arguing and yelling and screaming and had it all cranked up. And every time I walked in the room this week, I was like, "Knock it off!"
So did everybody see the trailer?
I haven't watched it. I was so
Yes.
mad at the students.
So-
I was like, I'm not even gonna watch it. Now. You
everyone's-
ruined it.
Everyone's freaking out because Harrison Ford is in it.
Oh, right,
like
right.
it has Han. I thought the coolest part was the first one. They're driving the speeder bike into the back, like turbine of the battleship,
Yeah.
right? The Star Destroyer, whatever it is. Like that was freaking sick.
Chewie, we're home.
Chewie, we're home.
That's all I need
Like,
to say.
He sounded like a tired old guy. I don't know. That
Well, what-
for me
Chewie, they
that
paid-
wasn't the part that did
Paid
it
me
for
so
me.
much money. I'm gonna be in one scene. It's cool.
Was that the scene for you though? Was
No,
that the
I
scene that
was-
was like hype train all aboard?
I was just like, all right, I can see where we're going. Chewie, we're home. Yeah, you are.
Where do you think home is?
Oh,
He landed
dear.
on Earth, and then he gets killed by Native American Indians, and then in the future, Indiana Jones finds his remains. He's like, "Oh, I found the remains of this Star Traveler."
Well, there's some
I'm pretty sure
fanfiction
there's
for
some
you.
fan fiction written somewhere about that.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway,
sure.
I also saw the Batman vs Superman trailer, and KT and I were going back and forth on
Yeah,
the
you guys have a
internet
little. Yep.
about how there's no way that Batman could ever beat Superman. Like, if Superman really wanted to beat Batman, he could throw a baseball from France through the bathroom window while Batman is dropping deuce, and like could just take his head off with a baseball from France.
And KT, what side are you on?
I'm just saying, like, when have you seen Batman ever take a cheap shot? He's always taking the high
You mean
road.
Superman?
Superman,
Or-
that's true.
yeah, Superman. Batman will take a cheap shot any day. I mean,
Right,
he carries kryptonite in his belt.
and that's fine, but
Batman works.
I just think, like, if Superman really wanted to kill
He's a
Batman,
high
it
roller.
would be a baseball thrown from outer space.
But
Well, he's
Batman
there's
doesn't
nothing
do
that
that.
anybody
But that's
could
the
do to
whole
stop
core
it.
of Superman is he's so powerful. It's not the fact that he has all these powers. It's the fact that he has to hold back.
There you go.
You know,
There you
that
go.
would be like the worst problem ever. I'm so amazing. I have to stop myself.
The fact that I can
Sounds like
fly
an
everywhere, I probably
egotistical
should just take.
Yeah,
It's like,
I can
I'm
control
going to sit
time and
economy on the
space.
next flight. I'm not going to fly there on my own. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, moving on. We're going to hop into the news. We're going to keep moving on because we want to talk our favorite gaming moments.
Right, yeah.
Both
We'll
of
go for
the
a while
past
today.
and kind of
I
what
don't
we
know
were
mine.
doing, like, since the podcast started. Like,
It
have we had a
yeah.
good gaming moment? For Rachel, probably Animal Crossing.
Still?
Like,
Play a
Steve the
lot of
parrot
Animal
moved into
Crossing.
town.
That's
And he
still
just
the
brought
lead?
ice cream for everyone, and that was her favorite moment. That might be
I'm a
it.
child.
All right,
I
stay tuned
know.
for that after our news.
All right, so I'm going to be taking over the news today as Drew is
Take
tied
it.
up with some other stuff. But first of all, the Star Wars Battlefront reveal trailer has been released. The release date for the game has officially been slated as November 17th. This is a big deal for anyone who's a Star Wars nerd or just in general wants to play a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Is it
Sure.
going to be a PS exclusive?
No.
PS? Okay.
But the trailer kind of leads you to
know.
believe. I
I
think it's
read
being
somewhere
marketed
it
similar
was.
to the way that
Mhm.
Destiny
Destiny.
was marketed. Because Destiny, every single commercial, everything that came out Destiny related was branded as a PlayStation product, right? Like there was no advertising at all. And I think at one point even Microsoft released a cologne called Destiny Cologne. Like,
Whoa.
did you see that?
Oh, I
No,
remember.
because it
like,
was the only
you know,
way they
we
thought they could
we
get their name.
can't- Yeah, we
Right.
can't advertise this, but we can.
But we can
advertise with
release our new cologne, Destiny, for ladies. I guess
Oh,
not
wow.
a cologne at that point. Anyway,
Oh.
so yeah, I think it's being marketed in a similar way that PlayStation has probably purchased exclusive advertising rights.
Yay.
Number 2,
Smart move.
and this is a big one if you have a little bit of extra funds to throw around. The PlayStation Network is having a flash sale. It's going
Love
on
the flash sale.
through Monday, April 20th. So if you're watching the stream or you listen to this in the next day or two, it's going to end Monday, so do it fast. So some of the more notable games that are on sale,
My poor wallet.
Garfield.
Army of Two, Bayonetta, Battlefield Bad Company 2 is a good one.
Dead
A lot of older
Island.
games. I'm not seeing too many new games on this list, but they have a ton.
But like solid ones.
Hotline
Double
Miami
Dragon
will be
Neon.
$4. Hotline Miami 2 was just released, so that's
Mirror's
not on the
Edge.
list.
Epic Mickey.
Epic Mickey,
Prototype.
Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Silent Hills. There's a ton of them. This is actually a pretty big and comprehensive list. As far as indies go, there's a great indie, Trine 2. The complete story is $4, and that is a fantastic indie as well. So check it out if you have a couple extra bucks to throw around. Anything on there? I mean, we'll all probably pick a couple indies that we want to do as Indie Game of the Weeks later on. News number 3. I'm going to actually let Robin take this one because I know she's going to be excited
I'm
about it.
I'm losing my mind over
Yeah,
here,
it's kinda
but it's
exciting.
okay. Journey is releasing on PS4 this summer, both digitally and on Blu-ray.
Bam.
Hang on, just let me do this. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Okay, I'm good. No, I'm like super stoked for this.
Right, me
Like
too.
Journey is like it's one of my like the gaming moments for me. It's like
it's a very it's a very special game.
Yeah,
for
like-
me, like it feels like,
like-
when you finally get through it and you experience it, like it's a game that is
it's very internalized.
right, and it feels like an experience. It feels like you went through something as you played it. At least for
Yeah.
me. You guys
Yeah.
excited? We pick it up.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like I have one of the art prints that's signed by Matt Nava, one of the art directors on there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's hanging over my office.
That's rad.
Yeah.
So I'm
Professionally framed.
really excited to see what they do. I mean, the step for Flower from PS3 to PS4 was pretty big.
It was.
And Journey was beautiful as it was. Like I will never forget the first time that you play through the level where you're like surfing,
Yeah.
and you go and you're kind of going sideways down the like you're going down and to the left, but you're going past all the pillars and the sunlight is breaking through and it looks
yeah,
like
it
gold.
switches into like a kind of side
Kind
scroll.
of side scroller, yeah, and you see
it's
all
just
of the
like-
gold waves as you pass through the windows and stuff. Like that to me was incredible, and so I'm really looking forward to I'm really looking forward to the up-resed kind of
Yeah, like
version of it. I think it's sick.
just totally gonna geek out over it.
Absolutely. In news, again, Witcher 4. News number 4, Witcher 3 has officially gone gold. This, again, like I said, I'm super excited for Witcher. I've been watching all the trailers as they've come out. I've been keeping up on the news and the rumors. And so for it to go gold, for it to officially, like, it's happening, it's really coming, it feels really exciting. It sounds like it's going to be just this epic, massive open world that I'm really excited to explore. I don't know. Do you guys care about this?
I don't know. I don't know if it's my jam, yo.
You're an RPG guy.
I don't know. That's why I might give it a stab.
All right.
So
If I beat more guys than
So yeah, Jeff, I gotta ask you, what are you gonna pick? Because House of Wolves, in which
I know. Don't ask. I don't know.
at the same time,
Let's
right?
not get into that. It comes out the same day. We're not going to get into that today.
Oh.
That's a conversation. I've spent way more time than I should
If you
even
start selling
contemplating
plasma
that. I'm,
now,
like, trying to
Yeah.
figure it out.
have to
It's
choose.
No, I've already
You
owned
have two
House of
kidneys
Wolves.
for a
That's
reason.
not the problem.
Oh, I see.
The problem is time.
Yeah. If you quit your
If I'm
jobs.
being really honest, it's House of Wolves. Like,
It's Jeff we're talking
yeah,
about.
Standard.
whatever. That's what it is. I can't help it. News number 5. Deus Ex Mankind Divided can be stealth 100%, including the boss fights. So have any of you guys played Deus Ex before? Human Revolutions was the last one to come out on the PlayStation 3. Okay, so Deus Ex is sick, and basically you have the ability to stealth through every single section of the game. And in the old ones, you couldn't stealth through the boss fights. So what would happen is you'd max out all of your character abilities
Sneakery
as
things?
stealth.
Yeah.
And then you'd get to bosses that you had to fight, and you would get your trash kicked.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because instead of specking out your character as this like weaponized, badass, you've done it as this dude who like hides in the shadows as a sneaky. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this newest Deus Ex game and the ability to stealth past stuff. I've never seen a game where you could stealth past a boss
No.
and beat the game. So
No,
I'm
that's
really
the-
interested in how they accomplish that. Like, if you create an accident that takes them out, like I don't know what it is. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do. So I'm looking forward to
totally
that.
be the way that I would get around any sort of boss because I'm not maxed out in anything.
Right.
I suck at stealth.
Yeah, but I would stealth something.
It's fun. I like stealth games. Like
not a
Siphon
stealth
Filter was a
either.
great stealth game
Yeah,
that
I'm
I
shoddy.
loved playing. News 6. Witcher 3 digital copies will unlock early. So this is an issue that a lot of people have had as they've purchased the digital copies of games. That, if you purchase a digital copy and you live on the East Coast, typically those digital copies aren't released until midnight Pacific. And so
Oh, wow.
you're better off buying a physical game
Yeah.
if you want to start playing at midnight. This kind of fixes that. So it's going to be releasing 5 hours early. So on the East Coast, it's going to launch at midnight, I would assume, on the East Coast. And basically everybody across the entire United States, it'll launch at the same time. So if you're in Hawaii, if you're in California, it's going to be up to 5 hours early.
Yeah,
which
so
is
like 5
pretty
p.m.
cool.
for us
Yeah.
or something. That's hot.
Yep. So I'm excited about that. Number 7, I just want to give a nice little happy birthday to DrinkBox Studios.
Yay.
They made one of our very favorite
Yeah,
indie game
love
of the weeks.
Guacamelee.
Yeah.
Guacamelee, one of our very, very favorite indie game of the weeks. They've turned 7, so shout out to DrinkBox. Congratulations, guys, on 7 good years.
Aw.
7.
We
Just
look
like
forward to
the
what comes
one.
next. Hopefully, a Guacamelee 2. I would play that.
I
I'd
would as
totally
well.
play that.
And then in number 8, because I'm Jeff and I love Destiny, Destiny's House of Wolves info has been released. It gives you upgrade paths for legendary weapons. It's been announced that there is no new raid, but there will be new PvP modes, and it sounds like a horde mode. I'll leave it there. Honestly, if I had a separate Destiny podcast, I'd probably spend an hour talking about just what's happening here.
You
But
could.
Bet you would.
365 Fatebringer. If any of my Destiny peeps are listening, I'm pumped.
If
What?
you
I'll
guys,
see you
really
there.
want to hear Jeff talking about it, come play Destiny with us, and
Right.
you'll hear about it.
Yeah, he loves
I'm going to take a second, too, though. Since we're talking about Destiny, I got to give a shout-out to a couple guys that we've been playing. KT and I play Destiny with all the time. Methane Cuddles and 3T. They've
Methane
listened.
Yes.
Cuddles.
Yep,
Yes, I know
they've,
Methane.
That is like the best name that I've heard in a very
Absolutely.
long
So
time.
these guys play Destiny with us all the time, and they've been listening to the podcast. So shout out, guys! Thanks for listening and being a part of this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up the
Oh.
news. That's a long news segment.
That's okay.
But we had things to talk about.
Special.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
So if you're ready, Rachel, and Drew's
Yeah.
ready,
I'm
Drew,
ready.
let's kick it off.
Is it on?
Robin did it.
Dance time.
All right. So on now April 14th for the PlayStation 4, we have Mortal Kombat 10 coming out. Tesla Grad.
So these
Came
came out.
out.
Came out. This
Yeah,
is
Mortal
this
Kombat-
is Tuesday.
Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
18th. Okay.
Pretty
so
fantastic on the Mortal
then-
Kombat.
Yeah. I think actually, yeah, a few of my friends picked it up for the Xbox One, but they like it so far. Okay, yeah. Tesla Grad, Titan Souls, We Are Doomed. For PlayStation 3, we just have Tesla Grad. For the Vita, we have Best of Arcade, the arcade game, Deluxe Addiction.
Addiction?
Addiction.
That's a deluxe addiction.
Deluxe Addiction.
Cocaine is a deluxe edition.
We have
Cocaine or what?
Bloxic.
Yep.
Bloxic.
Bloxic.
Medieval Defenders, Titan Souls, and then the digital classics coming out will be Gradius 5 and Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
GTA.
Very cool. So the trilogy, what includes 1, 2, and 3, I'd assume. So up to San Andreas. Was San Andreas 3?
No,
San
that was
Andreas
Andreas
was
after 3. Vice City was
Drew's
before
family
3?
just
No, that
showed
was-
up.
Yeah, my crew just
After
came.
3.
Your crew.
Those are my new
Yeah,
releases.
yeah.
These are my
That's-
road
that's-
dogs.
That does look like a
That's
dog.
their news releases.
Yeah. Those are
Cool. So that's the new releases. And for today's show, we're actually not going to do an indie game of the week. We thought about getting into.
Can we at least get Drew to do the theme though? Just because it is episode
just
50.
Sing,
That's true.
just sing and lie to us.
I don't remember the words.
say it's not the indie game, the indie game of the week?
It's
'Cause
not
it's not.
the. It's not the indie game. The
Say
indie
read it
game.
back.
The indie game. The week.
That was pretty good.
It's not. It's not.
It's
though.
not. It's not.
the topic. The topic of the week.
Wow, that was
sounded-
depressing.
That was
me
tired.
karaokeing.
Right. That was bad. Anyway, so for this week's topic, basically what we wanted to do was kind of get into, and it's a topic that we've brought up before and we've kind of conversated about in the past, but just our best gaming moments, whether they are PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever it is, like our best gaming moments of the past, and maybe what if we've had any good gaming moments since starting this podcast, whether together, separately. I thought it would be cool to kind of get into that, and then we could bring Glenn in, have Glenn kind of share some of his better gaming moments. Does anyone want to kick it off? Does anyone want to start somewhere?
Let's.
I'll start. I don't care.
I'll do my my legendary the gaming moment for me.
Okay, do it.
It's gonna go back to Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
So I was in such a rush my first playthrough to like get to the end. It's like I want to know what's going on. I need to get through this, and I wound up beating the final boss. And like this is kind of like the spectator. This is the Let's Play before
Right.
Let's Plays happened. So my mom was watching me play the game at like 13 years old, and so she was just chilling on the couch watching me play. She's like, "It's a lot of numbers that are going on there, dear. You know what's happening?" It's like, yeah, I need to heal them, and then I need to move them to the back row so that they can heal better because they have a long-range weapon, and it'll be fine, Mom. It'll be fine. So she's backseat gaming me the whole time.
Wow. Your mom was?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And she's like, I don't know. Do you know what you're doing here, honey? And so finally beat the very last boss. I'm like, oh, I just beat Sephiroth. I'm like, oh no, I'm being teleported into this other place where I have to beat another incarnation of Sephiroth. And I'm just like, did I beat it? Did I beat it? And like the little limit break bar is going up. I'm like, oh, I know what they're going to do. I know what they're going to do. And so finally, the end happens, the credits start rolling, and I start pacing around the room going like, I was only level 56. Mom, I don't know how this happened. I this shouldn't have happened. Is this the real? Oh my gosh, I beat the game. And I'm like bawling. And so I'm like trying to compose myself. I walk out of the room, and then I hear, honey, get back in here. There's another thing that's happening. So like the stinger at the end.
Yeah.
Like the Red 13 walks out and you see Midgar totally overgrown with foliage, and I'm just like, they lived. And so that was like the moment, like, oh, I have like such this like crazy connection to this game, and I don't understand why, and that's what got me on the path to like pursuing studies within it.
Right.
But
Very cool.
as far as since I've met you guys, I think playing Borderlands and Destiny has been the most fun, and also finding a kindred spirit in Rachel who understands my need to touch all the green light up boxes.
Yes.
It's like, I don't need the ammo, but it's green and I have to touch it.
I'm full, I know, but I just don't want to
That's
come back and
hilarious.
see it.
Because that's totally the reality of playing with you guys. Like,
I gotta touch it.
Hey,
I
are we
just
ready
have
to go
touch it.
yet? Next. And they're like, no, hold
can
on,
we move
hold on.
forward? Wait, there's 3 more cardboard boxes over there with $2 in them. I'm pretty sure there's $2.
At least.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. Super cool. So I'll go next. Or Glenn. Should we have Glenn go next?
Yeah.
Yes,
Glenn,
please.
Let's kick it off, dude. Here,
Gonna
take
hold my mic.
Glenifer.
I think I'm closer. Oh, extendable arms. Should
Tell us.
keep getting.
So
Ooh.
I don't have an in-depth story. That's hard to follow. But my two bosses that stick in my mind a lot are freaking Mike Tyson, because I never beat him. And then
Mike Tyson Punch-Out, right?
Mike Tyson Punch-Out from Nintendo, a long time ago. And I just, if I was ever to rage quit a game, it was that. But it was Mike Tyson, so I guess there's no point in rage quitting. Anyway,
He
and
wasn't gonna
then
grab your ears.
the most satisfying boss I beat was Alduin from Skyrim.
Oh, such an epic ending. Yes.
Oh,
So, anyway, he was great.
That's
And
a good
I
answer.
want that on next gen. Why not? Why not
Okay.
It would
Skyrim?
take so much, I feel like.
So there's
because-
Skyrim online, I guess.
Well, and you never know. Can I share? Can I share with you?
Yeah.
So you never know. Like Bethesda has a press conference at E3 this year, right? So
Sure. They could have something.
I mean, I doubt that it's an up-res
So have you
Skyrim,
have you
right?
seen people analyzing the invite on there?
a little bit.
Yeah. So they've
Get into it,
they,
Casey.
so
Share
so
with us.
so the invite is a picture of seats, and it has pictures of each of the characters that's been in each of
Oh,
those
right, yeah, I've
games.
seen that.
Oh.
Oddly enough, none of the Fallout characters are anywhere to be seen. So
'Cause they'll all be
Yeah.
on
4.
stage.
Fallout 4.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty safe bet, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Whereas
This is
it's
probably
coming.
close to like people trying to analyze the font that Apple uses.
So
on
what's
their
that? What
invites,
side we
so-
do that?
We do that.
We did it with like Hillary's campaign, and like now,
Predictable.
yeah, and now the Rubio campaign, like that's getting a full fonting. So
Funny.
Fonts are life.
Full
yeah,
frontal.
there's.
What about you, Katie?
Okay, so for me, so one of the best times, and sadly enough, I had my camera streaming on there, was because what do I do when before Destiny? I played Minecraft. And what did I do? No, I don't build any houses. I don't build any
What do you
computers.
do?
I wanted to build a giant hole to the center of the map.
Yes. I was there. I remember how excited he was.
So it took me almost a whole week to dig all the way down. It was a pretty sizable hole on there, but there's actually a video of me on the internet. Right when I hit it, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not breaking. It's not breaking. Guys. Yeah, I hit bottom. I hit rock bottom. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Usually when I hit rock bottom, it's not a really good thing.
Yeah, it's not a
He
celebration.
was so
No,
excited.
there's a lot of karaoke going on at that point.
On there, but like since this show started, honestly, I'd have to say, picking up Destiny and playing with you guys, that has been the biggest thing ever, because prior to that, I had both consoles, but neither console was plugged in for almost a year. On there.
We give you
So-
a reason to play.
So like, seeing how excited Jeff was, he's like, "Dude, you guys just got to play Destiny." I'm like, he seems to be really excited and won't shut up about it. So
It is.
I might as well go try
Do
it.
something.
But the reality is when you have a full fire team and you run through a raid, like it's super fun, and especially like
Exhilarating.
when it's somebody's first time through and you're like helping
That
them
is
get through, and you
fun.
get
That's a
to
little
see
fun.
like, you know, that they feel like they
spark.
accomplished something. Like it's seriously cool because it's hard. Like, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, most of my Destiny memories are like Jeff was there for it. I remember
Yeah.
like first time Jeff took down Crota as a warlock on there. I was
On
like,
hard mode.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty cool.
I was pretty proud. In fact, I went upstairs. So after that happened, so I was gonna actually say that was like my moment since starting the podcast, because I went upstairs and I like got in bed. It was probably like 2 or 3 in the morning. Like
we've been
we
at
were
it
up
for hours.
so late. We were just pounding our heads against this freaking game, and we were all super frustrated. But we were like, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get it. So we keep grinding. And it finally comes together, and we get the perfect run. And if you haven't played Crota hard mode, what happens is when he gets close to dying, he enrages, and the oversoul pops up, and so the big glowing eyeball in the,
whole
sky that kills
yeah,
everyone,
Sky, yeah.
I
And-
hate that trick. It's like, oh, we were almost there. Nope.
which
I
makes
lied.
which can make everyone panic. And so it was like, everyone keep it together, just freaking take him down. They got him down, and I kicked, and I got him, and I was just like, yeah, like I was so pumped, and I went upstairs and I got in bed, and it was like 3 in the morning, and my wife was like, what time is it? And I was like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. She's like, I cannot believe you stayed up. And I was like, babe, it was worth it. Let me tell you all about it. She's like, I'm freaking sleeping.
Oh,
Go
you
to sleep.
poor thing.
So it, yeah, that was so much fun. Like that was such a great, yeah, it was super fun. And taking Drew through, like going through
That was fun.
the
That was
Vault
fun.
of Glass for the first time, like that was, it's I don't know. There have been a lot of things in Destiny that have been just super cool to be a part of. So that's been my most recent one. And so I'll just piggyback and go to my old one then. So I've talked in the past about Turtles in Time. Like, Turtles in Time was my jam.
Wow, yeah.
I still to this day, like, I can remember all the music from the game. I remember the enemies. Like, I remember the first, like, I just loved that game. But out of all of the parts of that game, the sewer surfing, where you're surfing through the sewer and there's like little trip mines that come out and the foot soldiers come out and they're like nunchucking you and you have to jump, but your board kind of follows you as you're jumping around the sewer. I just remember being so pumped, and it was multiplayer too. So I was actually playing with my cousin Render, who plays Destiny with us all the time. He's the rage quitter of the group. But like that for me was just one of those things that really solidified my love for video gaming. Like, it felt like you were in this. It was done well enough that it felt like you were in the sewer as Donatello, and you were like fighting Foot, and I loved it. So that was mine. Rachel,
Precious.
what about you?
All right, so there's a couple. I know I've talked about like playing games with my brother when I was little. You know,
Right.
that was always
Resident
nice.
Evils.
Yeah, all the DuckTales and Mortal Kombat and stuff like
Oh
that.
man, DuckTales was great too. I hadn't thought about
And
DuckTales.
Paperboy, I did love.
Oh, wow.
Paperboy was.
Oh, wow.
NES was my first system. My
Oh.
brothers got like a PlayStation. They're like, you can have this. And I was like, yeah.
Ew, hang on. Did anyone play Golden Axe too
Oh, yeah.
on the SNES?
Yeah.
Or what?
I
Not
did.
SNES. It was on the Sega Genesis, right? And you could be the sexy warlock chick who like wore a string bikini. I remember being like 9 years old and be like, "Oh my gosh, look at this
Yeah.
woman! This is a woman." But like she would call down this big like giant dragon and blow fire all over all the enemies and stuff.
Yep.
That was another moment that I will never forget. That was a great game. Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
No, you're
That's what I
fine.
do, though,
That's
Rachel.
what I
I'm
know,
sorry.
It's okay. So I don't know. My own personal one would be the first time that I beat Kingdom Hearts, because that was like, I don't know.
We haven't really got into this
so
before.
I know. I know. I was like, how old was I? I wasn't even 10 years old. I was like 8 years old. And it had been the first game that I beat by myself, like big girl game, I guess. So I don't know, it was a really proud moment for me. So yeah, my best moment with you guys afterwards is probably gonna be like playing Outcast in the basement of the library.
Gosh.
Yeah, Outlast.
That's
I
a good
remember
answer.
watching
No,
you
not
guys
Outcast, because that's like
Outlast.
Outlast.
that's a guy that raps.
All right.
No,
Outlast.
Outlast was
Yes.
scary.
It was great.
I thought it was hilarious.
That was
Yeah, being
that's
upstairs
a
was so
great
much easier.
moment.
Right?
That if you're watching right now and you weren't watching us close to a year ago.
Yeah.
There is a 12-minute
When-
highlight reel on
Yeah,
YouTube.
when Outlast
Just
first
so you
came out,
know.
we played through the
yeah.
entire game as a group, and it was terrifying and hilarious. And Rachel was probably the toughest one. She'd been
Oh, yeah.
conditioned.
No,
she
She'd
was
been
just like-
groomed by her brothers.
I
so
know, right? Just so that was just getting us all together eating candy and just screaming at each other.
that was
Pretty.
I'll
radical.
have to find that highlight
One
reel and watch
day.
that again.
Go
'cause
ahead.
that's
Okay.
scary
Go
stuff.
ahead, please.
So before we go away from Outlast, I would just like to say that when you guys were doing Outlast in the basement, I was sitting at home in New Mexico before I got the position here, going like watching the stream and laughing at everyone. Like, I would fit in so well here. Please God hire me. Please hire me. Please hire me. Please hire me. Please. So that's what I was doing, and then I would laugh.
And there
when you
were
guys
actually
like,
there were a couple of spots that we couldn't figure out where to go, and
Yeah,
Robin
and I
was
was-
tweeting at us,
I
like,
was
"Go
texting-
left."
I was texting
Before
y'all,
we even
no,
knew it.
pick it up the battery. There's one back in the back room, and your pebble's going off, and you're like, oh hey Robin.
Just watching.
Yeah, because I remember that. That's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen that, check out the highlight reel for sure.
It's on our YouTube channel.
Turtles in Time, love that game. Scott says, yeah. So Scott designed from
New Mexico.
Twitch, from New Mexico. His is finally being Bowser in Super Mario World and finding the secret smoke fight in Mortal Kombat 2. Those are both cool.
Oh.
Who is this? Can I ask a question? Absolutely, ask a
Okay,
question, man.
go.
Yeah, in
It
fact,
shows up neon
so
green on our
Drew,
screens for
have
kids,
you given yours?
I haven't done
two
mine
cents
yet, but I was
in?
just watching the highlights. I gotta blow this up.
So
Blow, blow, blow.
give us your.
Wait, I
give
want to
us
watch some of
your-
this first.
Look at me. Oh, that's me.
This was a riot. What I loved about this is that we all came together and like intentionally tried to pee our pants. I mean, it was just so.
And I don't think any of us expected to be as like freaked out as we actually,
jumpy.
unless people were faking it. But like,
The Asylum.
Oh,
Dan
I was.
Martinez,
Why do you think
right?
I hid behind the control board? I'm like, I'm not going down there.
Like Dan Martinez
Oh, and he's
stole
legit.
Rachel's hoodie. Was it your hoodie or
I think
Lacey's
it was
hoodie?
mine.
Yeah.
Like stole Rachel's hoodie and was hiding under it during half of the game.
40-year-old IRS man. That's what he did. It was
oh my
awesome.
gosh. Yeah, it was
this is some good
fantastic.
So that was, I think that was probably one of my favorites right there. That was just
Right.
an awesome time since we've been gaming. I did enjoy playing B-Lands with you guys not too many weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. We
Yep.
actually all got there
Yeah.
together. That was kind of fun. I wish we would have like a longer time because it was like maybe
Yeah.
a 90-minute run and it was like just barely getting.
Yeah, we need to get like a 4-hour stretch.
Yeah,
where we're just,
I-
like, we're just
oh,
gonna
yeah.
knock out stuff.
So can we
Yeah.
get school done with and then we
Yeah,
just
could
do
we?
that?
Can we
Let's
just do that? Let's do that. So that was fun. I think pre LBK days, one of my favorite gaming moments was when I had my I think it was when I had my wisdom teeth out. So it was been my junior senior year. Maybe even, I'm old, but we rented a PlayStation
days of
from
rentals.
Movie Buffs. From Movie Buffs, we picked up a PlayStation.
Nice.
And I had Nintendo, right? I had the NES system, and that was about as far as we went, and that was what I learned the game on. And then I picked up the PlayStation and started playing Lunar Silver Star, and it was an RPG, but it was it's kind of Final Fantasy-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I played Lunar, and I think we played that, like, it was the first time that I had binge played, and I don't know if it was because it was the summertime or if my parents were out of town. I'm not sure what allowed me to have that, but I did a sleepover at a friend's house, and we like packed up the whole machine, went over to his house and played for more hours until 5, 6, 7 in the morning, and he fell asleep and I kept playing. It was like 36 hours, maybe 40. It was just full, like, top to bottom. That's like my highlighted moment because I don't know, it was just like success. Felt good.
Awesome.
That's what.
Yeah.
And then here's the saddest part of it. I didn't find out that. Well, I knew that there was a Lunar 2, which is Eternal Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Have not yet played it, but I knew it existed. And for like 6 months, I was looking for it. And then I think for another 6 months, I kind of gave up. And then right before I left to the Philippines for 2 years, when there's no gaming allowed, on a church mission, the night before I left, I found a friend who had had it the whole time.
Oh my god.
And he was like, "Oh,
You like this game?
You want to play that?"
Weird.
It's like, because I would have shut my. It was a perfect time. I could have shut myself in a room as a big boy and been like, I'm just gonna relive this moment from years ago. No, didn't get to play it. Still haven't played it. Except for I tried and find it on eBay and it's like $70, $80. Yeah, it's so too much. But I'm gonna do it someday. But those are my moments.
Right on. So in the chat, we actually had a question from Barry the Cake. He asked what our favorite game was. So those were our favorite gaming moments. But do we have a game, or maybe even expand it to a series that maybe was that we would say is our best?
Oh, that's tough.
It's got to give Rachel a couple days to decide.
Yeah.
What about you, KT? Where do you fall on this?
Okay, so mine actually has to be Zelda on
Okay.
there. I mean, first one was Zelda, and I'm playing it again on the 3DS, and I feel like I am
So
8
great.
all over
Oh,
again,
it's
and
good
I'm
days.
just like, I'm loving this.
That's awesome. Rachel.
That's a struggle. Well, Kingdom Hearts is a favorite series, but I don't know if you want to dive deeper. I was a fan of the Assassin's Creed for a good while, but I think Borderlands has kind of knocked it out
Yeah.
of the park.
Yeah.
Like, I want to replace my Brotherhood decal with just the Vault Hunter symbol.
That'd be
I'm
cool.
ready. I'm ready to move on. So, but I think Borderlands is definitely.
What's funny is that you went from like a very
Yeah,
like
that's
historical and
crazy.
mature game
It's very
to the
pretty.
most
Like
immature,
crazy.
irreverent. Like
Yeah.
as we get older, we become far less mature.
Yes. No. It's like the.
My degrees
you have
got
to,
me anything.
You have to counteract all the craziness. No.
That's
So, yeah.
fantastic. Cool. So mine would probably be. I love the Mass Effect series. Honestly, the Mass Effect series, like, the connection that you have with the characters. You know, earlier we were talking about parasocial relationships. Like, there's a scene in Mass Effect 3 where you have to choose between two people,
Yeah.
and
It's tough.
I mean, it's been
there's
out
no
a while.
right
I can
decision.
spoil this, right? So it's a choice between Tali Zora, who is just this awesome engineer character, and Legion, who's a robot, and they're both great as individual characters, but you also have developed a relationship with both of these guys. And I always liked Tali from the first time I met Tali. I thought she was cool, and so I was like, I have to go with Tali. And as Legion's dying, like you've killed Legion, you've decided his fate. As he's dying, he looks at you and asks if he has a soul, and I was just like, oh my gosh. He's like, does this unit have a soul? And I started crying, and I was like, I was a wreck. And that's ridiculous that happened. I was a 28-year-old man when that happened.
Nothing ridiculous about it.
But I was seriously affected by it, and it I loved it. It was a great game, and it's a game. One of my very best gaming moments was Mass Effect 2, when I survived the collector's base with a full fire team. Like, everyone survived, because I had played it several times where people had died, and so to finally make it through where everyone survived, all these people that I'd built this relationship with all survived and came out of it with me, was a huge achievement for me. Before we move on to you two,
Okay.
let's see. Barry the Cake says his is Far Cry 4, which is a great game. Most of us have played it.
I need to play Far Cry.
Freddie says the best game he's played is Metal Gear Solid 1.
Hi, Freddie.
GTA Vice City,
the one that,
and The Last of Us.
I was just a Metal Gear.
Ooh, that, yeah.
The one that I rage quit.
So I would say Metal Gear
It's like
Solid
a
is
light bulb.
Metal Gear Solid's amazing, and The Last of Us is flippin' amazing.
Yeah, it just...
Absolutely on board with you there, Freddie. Scott K Design says GTA 5 and Super Mario World, both very
I
good.
was
Like,
really-
Super Mario World was amazing,
I
right?
did like the Mario Worlds. Yeah, I like that a lot.
So
I was excited to beat GTA 5 because I'm like, I'm done. Yes.
you spent a lot of time in GTA 5.
I did.
You spent a ton of
it's-
time.
It's the completion
I say
struggle.
that, but I've probably doubled your time in Destiny.
Oh, at
I'm
least.
triple.
Yeah, I have that hour
Don't.
count.
Nope.
It.
I don't want it.
Sure?
I don't want it.
Sure?
Nope.
Right, let's pull it
We
up.
don't talk
Pull it
about
up.
that. Nope, my wife's here. We're not talking about it.
The hour count.
She perks.
Don't worry about it, guys. Come on.
days.
Robin,
I think
what
the
about
days
you?
count.
So you want me to, like, save you from this?
I mean,
Okay. All right, yeah.
Please take us
So
away.
dive.
Okay, the Spyro the Dragon series.
Love
Do you
Really?
remember?
Love Spyro, yeah.
That thing made me so much babysitting money because I would pack up the PlayStation and bring it to whatever babysitting gig. So, like, the little, like, 12-year-old awkward boy that I was babysitting, or whichever situation, it's like, can we get the babysitter that brings her PlayStation?
That's
Just
awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
I'm
Very
going to
cool.
buy me the DualShock controller now.
And Rachel, can you pass the mic to Glenn and we'll get his?
For sure.
Well, mine is, I'm new to the PlayStation world this year, so...
It can be anything. It
Yeah,
doesn't have to
well,
be PlayStation.
Splinter Cell was my favorite series.
Splinter Cell's awesome.
Yeah, so, and I think it's only on Xbox, isn't it?
No, it's on both.
Is it
Yeah.
on both?
You can get on both.
Oh, good. Well, Splinter Cell is my favorite because I love just stealthy, sneaking up
That
and
is stealthy.
Very
stabbing
cool.
people in the neck from behind.
I'm so bad
And-
at stealth. It's not even funny. It's like I'm the person running around with a shotgun going, hey!
So
I'm
then the
hiding in
upcoming
the
Deus Ex is
corner.
going to be right up your alley.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, I'm excited for it. I never played Deus Ex, but I'm excited
It's
for
very
that one.
cool. Yeah, very, very cool. Right on. So, Siphon Filter.
For me, I don't know. I don't have these parasocial. I don't even have normal relationships.
It's true.
Right?
He's
I mean,
barely our friend.
yeah.
He goes and does stuff and doesn't invite anyone.
That's right. I just.
He hangs out by
Bitter
himself
much?
at taco stands. He just
Yeah.
chills there
Yeah.
by
Wait,
himself.
You went to a
Just
taco
locks
stand
himself
without
in
us?
his office.
I go all,
What?
I go all
making
over
it
the
up.
place.
First
with
time
you
I heard
guys.
this.
So I think Wii Bowling is probably one of my favorites.
Really?
Absolutely love some
For
good
real?
Wii Bowling. That's one I spent some
Wow.
good nights on. Other than that, I think early on I did like a good run with the Mega Mans up to like Mega Man 4 or something.
Okay.
So I did enjoy the Mega Mans. That's probably what
That's
like,
a pretty
got me in.
hardcore-
Like that got me in.
Yeah.
I
That's
still
a hardcore
remember.
series to be one of your favorites.
Yeah, no, it was good, and I remember like early on we had a Japanese exchange student, Akinori, who is still a really good friend of ours and actually does gaming studies in Japan now. Like,
Really?
He's an instructor, a professor at university, and he does
Wow.
lots of cool things.
Rad.
But he bought an NES because he's Japanese. He had one back home, and so
Right.
one day, he's a senior in high school, and he comes home with a gaming system. I don't know what my parents thought at the time because we were pretty restricted. So even as like I think I was probably like 7th, 8th grade, and I was like, oh wow. And I remember playing like Mega Man was like the one game we had, and we played it for a couple of days and couldn't figure out why it was so hard, and we couldn't get past any of the levels or the bosses until we realized that actually we had beat one person, and we didn't realize for I don't know, it was probably a week or more. But I do remember the day coming home, and they're like, we found out that you can hit the button and change like
Your
what your power is, and that all it was like what, and then from there we just like played nonstop and finished.
That's
beating
awesome.
the thing. But I remember that as being a great series. That's one of my favorites. I don't know. You guys know I hate I'm not very good at the FPS. I just don't do so well.
You've done
Yeah,
awesome.
me
I remember
Destiny.
Yeah, you
Lolo. Do
played
you guys remember
Destiny.
Lolo? Do you remember that game? It's a little puzzle game with a little blue ball that like pushes blocks around. No,
Like Peggle.
it's kind of like Peggle, sort of, but like I love Lolo or I think that's what it's called. Anyway, those early games where it's just like puzzling things, where it's just like that and Tetris. Oh man, my mom would steal Tetris from me all the time, and she'd play.
That's hilarious.
I was the only kid who had a mom who'd get like 400, 500 lines on Tetris, and I could brag
Yeah.
about it.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause that was totally my mom. There was one incident where we were on a plane to go visit my grandparents or something like that, and I had picked up knitting at that point.
Wow.
And so I was just sitting there knitting away, and then my mom is sitting next to me with my Game Boy, playing Tetris on the plane, and this woman walks by and she's like, "I think you two need to switch. This just isn't right." She's like, "You need."
You're
she's like,
knitting and your mom's gaming.
yeah.
That's awesome.
And so mom's like, "I'm busy."
That's hilarious.
Tetris, yeah.
See,
That's awesome.
So my wife's right here right now, but she's not going to come on a mic. But I can tell you her favorite game is The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of
That
Time?
is her jam.
Yeah.
Our first Christmas, I bought her a Nintendo 64 with the Ocarina of Time. That was like our first Christmas
You
together.
are sweetheart.
Yeah,
That's real love.
So in
I
real
bet
life,
that probably bought you 5 days of Destiny.
in
right
real
there.
life, 99% of the people in
Only
the
5.
world are probably like, this dude is a freaking nerd loser. But it worked.
It's like
Did it
that
work?
is the test of a
It's been
relationship.
8 years now, and she's still around. So,
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
worked. Well
the
done.
N64 was the key to her heart. Where's the Red Bull? I know, Freddie. I'm trying
Just-
to quit,
yeah,
man. That
just
stuff's
for-
liquid gold.
For those of you that are in the chat or catching us live, we're at Pearl Milk Tea Club downtown Ogden. If you don't have boba, there's not very many places to get cool
A
boba.
Boba Red Bull. Oh
Love
my
this
gosh.
place.
I gotta.
I bet
I gotta have a
Henry
conversation
pulled that
with him.
together for us.
Awful.
You know he'd put that together for us.
Sorry.
I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah, I'm
An
sure.
iced up
But
boba Red
Sure,
Bull.
guys.
Anyway, though, this has been episode 50, everybody.
Wow.
50 episodes.
5-0.
So it means a lot to us if you've been listening for a while now, or if you're listening to the first time for this for the first time. It means a lot to us that you've stuck around, that you've persevered. Freddie, I know Southern Gun 08, you've been around forever. We appreciate you always listening. Anybody else out there that you guys want to give a shout out to?
Oh, we've got so many good fans and friends.
Yeah.
Everybody that's buried the cakes in the chat today.
Don't
We've got
stop.
other people. Lots of the Nerdbird podcast listen to us. They try and take a cue.
Aw,
Someday
yeah.
they'll reach
Copycats.
50. But
Tons of
we get a
and
lot of fans.
tons of the people that I played Destiny with have tuned in and checked out some episodes. Brian, Freddie, Methane Cuddles, 3T.
Such a good name.
3T. It's I think X probably has listened to a couple of episodes. He said, it's just it's really cool that we can all come together. Like, this is one of my favorite things to do, is just sit around and chat games
Yeah.
with you guys for a little bit. Sometimes it's the most like stress relieving part of the week.
Yeah.
So thank you guys from me. Thanks for
thanks,
for being
Jeff.
part of this.
Thank you, Jeff.
And
Here without you.
thanks for joining for episode 50. Does anybody else
Yeah.
want to say anything before we sign off, other than to follow us at LittleBigKast on Twitter, email us at littlebigkast@ktdata.net. We are the official PlayStation podcast, ladies and gentlemen, of the KT Data Network. Probably the biggest shout out though of this show probably should go to the people at Pro Milk Tea
Yes.
Club. Thank you so much for
Just
hosting us, letting us come in,
Come and have
letting us
at
do
it.
our show
Yep.
here while your customers kind of question what these random
What are these
people in the
strange
corner are
lots of
doing.
wires?
Cameras.
I don't know, I'd stay around any place that had this much tech gear. I'd be like, ooh, what's going on?
I wanna touch
Love this stuff.
Anybody else have anything they want to say though before we sign off?
Do we want to chat about where we're going after 50? Like, what's next for us?
Feel free.
Sure, we can talk about. We're gonna rebrand a little bit, change our logo, grow up a little. I figure at 50
Yep.
we can grow up after a year, so we're gonna rebrand the logo, and you'll probably see a lot more content on our website. Like right now, we just kind of post our episodes as they come up, but I think we're gonna start doing a lot more, just even game reviews and
Do you
other.
plan to start expanding a little bit,
Expanding a
get
little
into game reviews, a little bit more of the journalism
Yep.
side of things, and
Yep.
also looking to grow. So
We're gonna go. We're looking for an intern, so I don't know if Rachel's gonna graduate, but we might just make her an intern, and that'd be like double
If you want to
duty.
graduate.
Call
who
that
wants to
good.
graduate?
But yeah,
If
no,
I'd
it's
have
it.
known what I knew before I graduated, I never would have graduated. I'd have just kept
Just
living
kept going
off
to
student
school.
loans for the rest of my life.
It's true.
Very cool. Well, hey, again, thanks KT for coming down and helping us out with this
Yeah.
show.
Yep, no
and for
problem at all.
producing every week. We appreciate you helping support. Glenn, you're the man, dude. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming down to the show. And to everyone else, thanks and adios.
Good night.
We'll see you next week.
Follow us everywhere.